Hi, friends. This is James and Cara, and we are Kerouacs Cruising.
We are taking you on a journey, traveling the country with our dogs and finding remote places where the dog
And us
can roam free and play while we discuss life's growths, beauty, and some struggles along the way.
We recommend pairing our episodes with our blog at kerouacscruising.com, where we organize accurate information in an easy-to-follow format, removing all of the conversational goodies.
The link for this episode's blog post is in the show notes.
We encourage you to join the conversation by commenting where you listen, engaging with us on Facebook or Instagram at Kerouacs Cruising, or email us at join@kerouacscruising.com.
In the meantime, thanks for tuning in. Sit back and enjoy the journey.
Good morning, friends.
Thanks for joining Kerouacs Cruising. This is James and Cara today.
And we are joining you once again from our homestead. We are enjoying yet another snowy day. It's
Mostly rain.
Mostly rain, yeah. We keep getting a dusting, and then thanks, Bella. And then it melts out. It's mid-April, so it's a nice little April storm. April showers bring May flowers, so hopefully we'll get nice big blooms here soon.
It's Easter weekend.
Easter week, yep. So happy Easter to all of you. But today I kind of want to talk about, and James doesn't quite see it the same way I do, so maybe it'll be a message he needs to hear too. But I wanted to talk about finding peace in the pause, essentially. So when you feel like things aren't moving in the direction that you'd like, there's still things going on, even if you're not physically acting. I feel like in our society today, we are programmed essentially to work, and the busier you are, the more productive you are, the more you feel better about yourself, but the more positively you're viewed by others. So again, people who are constantly busy, have a full schedule, really have no free time, are kind of admired in our society. And I kind of want to flip the script on that, because I do think that there is a lot of beauty in when things slow down. Not only can you take the time for self-care to really focus on taking care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, but it gives you time to kind of reevaluate your situation. When you're always in that rush, when you're always in that push to do more, be more, accomplish more, you don't have a lot of time to reevaluate what you kind of have going on, the direction that you're pushing in, if that's necessarily exactly what you want to be doing. Or maybe you lost your original vision and you've just gotten so lost in physically getting things done that you have gotten into almost an emergency mode where you're not thinking about the why you even had started doing whatever it is that you're doing in the first place. So I'll give you an example. Our podcast, of course, is our big passion project. We really love traveling. We really love being able to speak our voice and have this platform and engaging with all of the amazing people and friends and supporters that we have that reach out and support us and are really rooting for us. And it's been a really, really amazing. But right now, we're in a pause spot. We haven't been on a physical adventure since the end of February when we went to Death Valley and then came back, hung out in Bullhead City, and then we've come home since. And we're not going to be hitting the road until probably the first week of June. So we're kind of in a pause spot. We also just went for a bit where we just had a month of no internet. So it became a little bit more difficult to feel like we are physically doing things to push this podcast forward. And then, of course, the desire for us to reach as many people as possible, the deep want to earn money from the podcast, all of those things kind of keep us in the pushing mode. Like, what else can we do? What more can we do to grow? And without having the internet and not going anywhere, things have kind of had to slow down a little bit. And it was a really nice break because it gave me an opportunity to kind of reevaluate what I've been chasing with the podcast. As far as growth goes, I was thinking so small. I wasn't thinking big picture anymore as, what our real ultimate goal is in all of this, which is ultimately to share our authentic voice in such a way that inspires you to become your authentic self and do whatever your dream is that is pushing you, and have fun while we're doing it. Take you to beautiful places while we're doing it, take you on the journey and share our struggles and our triumphs as you're coming with us in these adventures. And so that includes all the ups and the downs, like the slowdown right now until we hit the road again in June. So I think that it's a beautiful thing to pause and to reconsider and to take some time to just know that even though you're not physically moving forward and you're not seeing physical results, there's still work being done underneath, especially when you're talking about your dream or your passion. You can't stop thinking about that no matter what. No matter if you can't physically work on it right now or not, you're still dreaming and you're still scheming essentially, and visualizing what you'd like to come out. And that's all work too. It's helping you refine and define what you really want out of the outcome. What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are I really don't like the pauses, and I think that I still live in a very action-oriented mind, and I think that's a lot of people live in that same action-oriented mind. I would rather be on the road producing these episodes, seeing beautiful places that I have on my bucket list and bringing that to you versus having this pause. Do I think this pause is important? This pause is important. We have stuff, like Cara's saying, that's behind the scenes, but we have stuff behind the scenes that we're hoping that are going to push us forward. But we also have stuff behind the scenes that we're trying to contend with to be able to move to the next spot. We technically were supposed to be on the road heading to the East Coast right now. Yeah. And we were going to have a stop in Florida, a stop in North Carolina. And now we're hoping just to be able to go to Idaho for the baby's first birthday. So I've, as much as I enjoy being home, I would much rather be on the road. Like, I would wish we were heading to Texas, seeing our friend there and then heading to Florida. But we're home, so I'm just more anxious about it, where Cara's like, well, this is just what has to happen before the next step. Mm-hmm. So our plans have changed significantly from what we thought we'd be doing in January right now versus what we're doing right now and what's going to happen going forward. So I just obviously been a little more stressed than Cara, I think. And I just been trying to focus on the future too much versus just taking in the moment. Mm-hmm. So I just think we look at it both different ways. She's I guess more content on where we are right now, where I'm more like, let's just get this next month over so we can get on the road.
And I don't know if content's the right word, as I'm learning to accept the process as it is. There's nothing we can do about the situation we're in right now and the pause that we're taking. And so I think finding the beauty in it and finding the lessons to be learned and taking the time to be here now, right where I'm at, rather than continue to strive and push and fight for the future. I think that's giving me more awareness of what's possible for the future and helping me realign to point in the right direction to help the future that I want actually probably come faster than if I just kept grinding and not having the time to reevaluate, reconsider, refocus. So I think it's good wherever you're at. Wherever you're at is beautiful. James having more anxiety about the future as opposed to where I'm sitting. I think there's always in a couple dynamic, especially, you've got a little bit of balance in no matter what, where two people are going to be in two different spots. So wherever you're at, I want to honor that. Same with James. It's hard to not feel like you're where you want to be.
Well, one of the things that I've gotten out of the pause which I think is important for us going forward, especially because we want to live a life on the road, is we're fine-tuning our habits or whatever you want to call them, our protocol. You know, we've been really good about eating good, having a good protocol to work out, having a good protocol to do our breathing exercises. You know, them things I think are important to get those habits down while we're at home, because it's every time we get out on the road, it's very difficult for us to keep that same mindset on wellness. You know, all of a sudden we're buying food that we know we shouldn't eat, and now, you know, we're on the road and we're not exercising. We're enjoying the beauty, and maybe we're doing a little hiking, but that's it. We're not doing the physical breathing and meditation and all them other things. We're like, oh, we'll skip that today. We'll do that.
Coffee on a cold morning always comes over meditation. It's get that coffee in hand as quickly as possible.
So I think being home for the pause helps that out, because we're building that foundation. So when we do get back on the road, hopefully we can continue to do that protocol every day.
One of the things, in addition to, you're absolutely right. I agree with that 110%. You know, and as far as podcast stuff, it's helping me reevaluate what's important to focus on. So we're on the road, I'm not spending days while we're in a location focused only on work, essentially, and not actually adventuring and checking the stuff out, just doing it in a rush. But I think for us right now, this pause helped us really reevaluate some big issues. And we're not quite ready to announce yet what we've got going on, but we've decided to make a significant life change. And I think if we had been on the road moving and traveling, we would not have made the decision to make this change, because essentially we wouldn't have been faced with having to consider how things could be if we had made this change, or how we want things to be. So I think sometimes the pause really helps you reevaluate your life choices.
What you want.
What your
real wants are.
We had been fighting this change, even though it seems like it's been our life's been pushing us in this direction. Our hearts have been in this direction, but we're like, no, we've worked too hard. We don't want to undo and start over. And it's where our lives been pointing us since 5 years ago, when a particular announcement was made to us, and we just weren't ready to face it yet. We weren't ready to say, yes, let's go. And it's okay. That's okay. We, you know, you got to take the journey that you need to take to make sure that your decisions you make in life are fully your own, and that you're ready to make them when it's time to make them. But I think it's been a really great opportunity for us to make a big leap, that I think, just like choosing to live on the road, just like choosing to live off grid in the first place. I think it was a really great opportunity for us to reevaluate and be like, it's time for us to make the big change. So,
and we probably will in the next couple episodes talk about what our new plan is. We still want to travel and do the loop of America, basically, and
hit all the national parks at a minimum.
Yeah, hit the national parks, but we're just gonna be doing it a little differently and probably a little backwards, but still trying to get the same journey.
Yeah.
So, but life changes, and you just got to roll with those punches. Sometimes life throws you curveballs, and then you just got to sit down and face that, and then move forward from it. You know, it's being home. Definitely, I've been reading again. That's the other thing that gets away from me when I get on the road, which it should be, you know, so peaceful when you're out camping and seeing all these spots. But I end up getting caught up. Instead of reading, I'm like, I'm going to bring the dogs for a walk, or go check out this, or go do that. And then I'll be like, I'll read a chapter tomorrow. And then now I'm 4 or 5 chapters behind, which at home, I get up and that's part of my protocol, is I read my chapter. Even if I'm going to do some day work, I still read my chapter before I leave the house. So it's just, I think it was important to be home to lay the foundation to move forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And even though it's hard, it's an ultimately more positive thing moving forward. I think it's going to give us a good springboard coming off of this. I think we're going to be able to do a lot of big things really fast.
You know, I'm antsy, but Kara's been the whole time, oh, spring's really when everything's going to happen. And that's fine, but I'm still antsy, and I still doing everything I can to take action on moving myself forward, which really just breaks down. I might buy a lottery ticket.
It's true. So there's two things on the reading thing that I wanted to touch on since he brought it up. First of all, he's exactly right. When we are traveling, it's like we want so desperately to be submerged in this beautiful location. I keep getting really emotional. This is obviously something I'm very passionate about right now. We want to be in that spot, you know, so you want to soak it in as much as possible. So doing our normal routine, I don't want to leave mentally where I'm at. So getting into a book or getting into meditation, I would rather be soaking in my landscape. So that's something that I hope moving forward, as we're spending more time at places, that will, you know, be able to hold to these routines like James is talking about. Also, in the time I've known James, he's always said he's not a good reader. He doesn't like to read. He hates reading. And since we read Limitless with Jim Quick, that's completely changed the script for him. So I do want to throw that out there. Limitless with Jim Quick is an excellent book, but we started a book club, if you don't know, Kerouac's Journey Through Reading, where we are reading books together as a group, where we can openly talk about our experience with these books and try to do it in bite-sized pieces where, you know, kind of averages out to about a chapter a day. We meet weekly in a live call and discuss the books as we've read them and how we've each understood them, what we've pulled out of them. And our first book is On the Road with Jack Kerouac, and James is dug in right away, is already reading
we got the book already, and it's a book that I've wanted to read for a long time, and I just never have. And so many people have given me the opportunity to read this book and told me I should.
He's been gifted the book so many times.
And I just push away, and, you know, not even 100% positive that I'm even related to the guy. I just was told I was. But this book, On the Road, is something that we trying to do. Mm-hmm. So I read five chapters, I think, or 4 chapters, but I read 3 in one day because it does captivate you. And the book is based in 1947, and the whole scene back in 1947 is blowing me away. Mm-hmm. And how many people, because it's after World War II, after the Great Depression, how many people are actually cruising, just moving around on the road, doing stuff and trying to find their own way in life. So, and throwing out all the stops. They're hitchhiking, taking trains. I don't want to give away.
Not taking chains. Jumping on trains, holding on,
and getting free rides across the country, and it's been blowing me away. I think I'm on chapter 5 or something, and it's crazy to me. So I'm really happy I picked up the book. And for a long time, I would pick up a book and read a chapter and put it back down. But since Jim Quick, and just really what I got out of Jim Quick is never stop learning. And it's so easy to just stop learning and stop picking up books. I would only ever read anything if I was fixing something, working on a job.
Or you had to for work.
Oh, yeah, doing something, a construction job on how to build a chicken coop, you know, something stupid like that. But never really learning and gaining knowledge for pleasure.
Yeah.
So that's what I got out of Limitless. And since then, I've really tried to change my mindset and really have gotten into some great books. So I'm pretty excited to have this book club going on. I'm excited for some of the people that signed up, so I hope you sign up. I can't wait to talk to people. You don't have to get on every week. We're going to record it. You can listen to it, but you don't got to get on the call every week. But it's going to be great to be able. Me and Cara read the same book, and we get total different perspectives out of the book. So it's amazing to be able to talk back and forth. I can't imagine with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. Everybody's going to get a different perspective, and we're going to gain knowledge, different knowledge, because something that I missed in the book that you gained from the book, now I'm going to capture that when we talk about it. So I think the book club's going to be just awesome, really.
And I'm really amped up because, again, talking about the different perspectives, there's been a lot of our amazing like core support group, our friends and family that jumped right into the book club, no questions asked or anything. I don't even think they've seen the episode announcing it because not a lot of people have listened to it or heard it yet. But people that we don't even know. And last I looked, we had 27 members in the book club and we launched it a week ago. So I'm really, really excited. Next week, we're going to go ahead and set a date for when we're going to have our first book meeting. And even if it's only me and James at first that join the meeting live, that's okay. But we're really excited about it.
If it's just me and Cara, it might only be 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But we'll still post them notes so you guys can jump on and listen to whatever that conversation was.
Comment and open the conversation.
Join the conversation.
Yes, join the conversation. Absolutely. So we're really excited about that. And that's, again, something that came out of the pause and out of the blue. Our friend David recommended it via our dear friend Caroline. And it
was a great idea, David. Thank you.
It was a great idea. We just, both of us immediately were like, that's perfect.
Because I want to continue to read books. And one of the things it does, it kind of holds you accountable.
Yes.
Because nobody wants to be the guy at the end that didn't read their chapter.
Yeah.
So I just...
We're each other's accountability partners. Yeah.
So you're learning, you're holding each other accountable. I mean, it's going to be great.
Yeah. We're really excited, you guys. So those of you who have joined... Love you. Thank you. Those of you who haven't, we'll put the link in the show notes so you can join the private Facebook group. It is a private group so you can feel safe being open about your opinions and your thoughts that come up through the books that we read. Again, our first book is On the Road with Jack Kerouac. Amazon's actually, we went to a local bookstore, grabbed a used copy, but Amazon's actually having a special on books right now. They are currently offering deals on books right now, some crazy percentage off. So Jack Kerouac's On the Road, I bet you can get it for cheap. It's on Kindle for like $6.99 as it is. Physical copy at $10.
I bought a hard copy for $6.50
at
Bookman's, and they still had 3 softbacks that were only $4.50.
Yeah,
so it's not an expensive. It's not an expensive book. So any, I can't even think of any of the big Noble bookstore.
Yeah, Barnes and Noble.
Barnes and Nobles. All the big bookstores are going to have used copies for under $10.
Yeah.
So it's not an expensive book, and I think it's going to be a fun book to read, especially if you're like us and you're antsy, and I just want to be on the road seeing beautiful places.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Anything else? And we are going to have a pretty significant reveal, I guess, in the next couple episodes. I don't know if it'll be next weekend, but probably the weekend after that. And we have a new plan, and we're trying to make our goals happen.
Yeah.
So we're trying to move forward in life and embrace the future.
With that, I want to leave a last note that it's okay to reevaluate and change your mind. There are no rules that say that once you set a goal, that goal is your goal forever. You have to own it. It's okay to reevaluate and change. There are no rules in this life.
The only rule is
you are the creator.
Being joyful.
Yes. Love your life. Be happy.
Be happy.
That's what's more important.
That's the only thing. So even if you have to reevaluate to earn yourself that happiness, then it's going to be worth it at the end.
Sometimes what made you happy or what you thought was going to make you happy last year isn't what's going to make you happy now. And that's what you want to,
change is
that's
okay
where the
in
pause
life.
is beautiful. That's find peace in the pause. I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening.
See you next time. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Kerouacs Cruising.
We're thrilled to have you with us.
We had a blast recording this episode and hope you enjoyed our adventures as much as we enjoyed sharing them.
For more amazing pictures and stories, visit our website and blog at kerouacscruising.com.
And join the conversation on Facebook at Kerouacs Cruising or email us at join@kerouacscruising.com.
We'd love to hear your thoughts and suggestions.
If you enjoyed this episode, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving us a review.
Your support helps us reach more listeners and allows us to continue sharing our travel experiences with you.
It's a generous favor that means the world to us.
Thank you so much for listening to Kerouacs Cruising.
Until next time, happy travels.